in the season, that is. I'm not sure that it was as good here. Maybe they can go with something different. Some Clock versus Nyx is also pretty solid versus Warlock too.
Yeah, normally against Warlock in lane, you want some type of
10 seconds.
cleanse, not in the game, sorry, you want some type of cleanse, but when you
Cleanse!
Yeah, the Kyle!
5 seconds.
I heard the
Purge! Okay, alright, hold up.
Cleanse.
Sorry.
Wait, what
sorry.
does Purge have to do with it?
What is okay? We're gonna do a weatherman on how
Kevin
bad
gonna do?
cleansing is. All right, no. Yes, there is some need for some purge, some dispel, some way of getting rid of the fatal bonds.
Okay.
Teams traditionally like some heroes, but they
Hey, that's a
instead they
hero.
go for fight instead.
Good hero too. Previous game, we had Vici Gaming in the second ban phase banning out the axe. We've seen Ame's axe a couple times. Very good. Still an option here, paired up together with the Warlock, or would you rather
10
see
seconds.
something different? Also, is this a game where you feel like
5 seconds.
Nothing to Say's hero is going to be saved for last?
It's most likely going to be the 4th pick in the draft for PSG because that's going to be closing out the second phase. You cover it with 2 bans. Right now for PSG, they're trying to decide kind of what offlaner they'd like most likely.
Dragon
or the
Knight.
sacrificial Ame hero. Yeah, like DK or Doom, yeah.
When you're thinking about Nothing to Say, it's Magnus, Dead Prophet, something that we haven't seen that many times from them here, but they love it.
Lena's still in the pool.
Still in the pool.
If they pick a DK, I think Lena.
You're
would be
playing versus a Mars, but still, Lena
Yeah,
is pretty
it's
solid.
tough, but that's why like if they pick some sort of like front line and some heroes to actually take
Is there though, like Void has been banned, Mars has been taken away from you. Is there something that works as well as those two? I don't think so. Those two are like the bosses. Maybe Axe, but it's not as good though. You have Golem from Warlock.
These are really squishy supports. You can definitely pick something to abuse that.
And that's what Warlock will thrive in, right? Warlock loves playing into these squisher supports that don't have a way to kind of keep themselves alive. It's just PSG need to have a couple more heroes to force the fight so that they get hit by the bones, hit by the gun, and then subsequently die.
What are they discussing? What could they be talking about?
I know what they're
Well,
discussing.
I don't know what.
Tinker?
Axe, Tinker Punch.
Punch. Okay.
This is
2 squishy supports. They're gonna feed to you. You can hook out of the Mars arena. You can eat somebody out of the Mars arena.
You can eat someone from the AO.
Exactly. This is gonna be a Pudge carry.
you can eat Magnus
Make my
after
words.
he RPs as well, so he doesn't kill enemies.
That's such a good
Yeah.
combo. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so strong.
Don't you love when someone initiates and then you just eat
You
him?
eat them. Yeah. It's
Does
really.
it ever happen to you that you eat the wrong target, not on purpose? You just eat the wrong target.
No, for me, no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
with the shard, really?
No. I don't buy the shark because
I don't buy-
it's defensive. So
You're not a defensive kind of a.
no, just full aggression.
I know. I see that in your eyes. I understand.
I
yeah.
appreciate that. I do.
Mag has been played mostly by Nothing to Say in the middle lane.
The one game that they played it
It's
on
Radiant's turn.
on carry, it completely sucked. I hated it. They lost with it. I just wish when you have someone like Nothing to Say on your team, I want to see him playing it because he just owns
Radiant's
the own Magnus,
Phantom Lancer.
and he will be the one.
This is all very stable.
Yeah.
Why would they send out a tweet saying, hey, which one of these crazy heroes you wanted to pick, and
It's
then
the
go...
same thing that happened in European DPC. Remember when the teams would like,
Very
"Oh, look,
disappointing.
we
But
could
there's
vote."
a
Don't do
10
difference
it.
seconds.
in fan base, mostly.
About
There's a
1,000.
massive fan base for PSG.LGD. They're going to be very sad.
And wasn't there a Singapore major team that tweeted out IO and then never picked it because they actually couldn't play it?
That was done the Predator.
I was gonna-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might be a debate,
It's
although
Dice.
it didn't seem to work with the bands
No.
at all. So
It's not just the heroes like, oh, should we pick, the Ursa, the PL, or the TV, But
I don't like the PL though. This hero overall hasn't done way too much in the major. Maybe they'll find a different way of playing it. Most of the time when I've seen PL work, it's with the Aetherlance and Shard, and then later on Octarine.
5 seconds.
I do think the mana burn works really well though against the Mars plus the DK. It's
Radiant's
two like strength
planning
guys that have really low mana pools but need to use their mana. So
Yeah.
you can fight just based on these heroes having no mana. You don't even need to kill them. Just drain their mana. I get that. I agree with you. I think the hero. I think the hero's just way weak.
And you have Breathe Fire against you as well. You have Lion level 25. Kappa. We're gonna get there.
even though Vici
10
Gaming has last
seconds.
pick, I still think that Juggernaut, for example, would be really good. Remember during European
5
DPC, Jug
seconds.
PL matchups were pretty decent for Jug. go for the charge. You have like Mjolnir, just kind of spin him down, and they kind of need a little bit more, pace within their carry to get them out of the game. Like Vici Gaming is looking to play before the PL comes online, because PL there is no answer right now. They picked it fourth after seeing all of Vici Gaming's heroes.
What about Poyoyo Troll again?
Can only get better.
Yeah.
Poyoyo.
That did not look that.
Yeah.
That was
Looked
tough.
pretty bad.
That was tough.
That's yeah. So
But
give
again,
him a chance.
You
give
know
him a
what?
chance.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, well, I was gonna say Leshrac, but the Nyx kind of blocks that. But I'm thinking like, why not go with something that's more of a mid-game kind of carry? I like DK, Mars. Like I feel like these 4 heroes that Vici
So just
have.
play the tempo.
Yeah, play tempo.
Yeah, Shiver, what do you think about that? Like, what tempo heroes? She literally flew under the radar this whole panel.
Dude, if you guys are talking about the draft, I'm not going to interrupt you.
Please.
Nobody wants to listen to me
Take
predict
over,
picks.
take over.
I will tell you what he has played that is still in the pool. Let's
10
see. We still have in the pool Wraith King.
5
Terrorblade,
seconds.
no. Terrorblade ban, sure.
Rating
Yeah.
with Radiance AC could.
Medusa, but Medusa's been figured out, I feel. Morphling, that's it. And Jugger. He's not really had a
Jug
very wide hero pool. And Troll, of course, as well.
Jug is honestly probably the best one, just because you have the heal versus all the Warlock damage over time.
No.
It's a hero that can own Nyx in lane. He can't carapace or spin, and then you have the Aghanim Shard PL clear that Gov was talking about.
Good with DK as well.
Thanks, Jenks.
I got you.
What do we want to see from PSG.LGD, though? Is there still a chance for something crazy for Faith Beyond? Assuming it is, and nothing to say Magnus, and then Ame
It's
PL,
Dive's turn to pick.
then we are going to see Faith Beyond Leshrac.
Ooh.
Leshrac coming out from them still.
Okay.
The offlane Lesh, yeah. I like the fact that PSG is one of the few teams that is still running like melee 4 with a ranged offlane. So many, people just go, oh, it's by Vanguard, let's be tanky.
For them, Fate Beyond really thrives on these heroes.
Yeah.
In the Singapore Major and Season 1,
Oh, there you go.
You
it
can
was
see that.
the Prophet and the Viper. Now it's a little bit of Flash. Also Viper banned out. Poyoyo
I
Juggernaut.
just hope I
Love
read it
his
like
set.
DJ did.
Oh, you guys
No, I
can't
thought
see it at
you were
home.
a carry, so just saying.
What is that set? You'll see it soon. Don't worry, you'll know exactly what I mean. Looks cool. Very.
Oh, on Jug?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
it's very.
I like the Dragonites one as well. It's badass.
We can't talk about sets too much because they don't see it at home.
I actually think the Lesh matchup versus Jug is good for Lesh. It's one of those ones where people you think, oh, magic damage, Jug just spins, but you kill him really easily with the edict. You just
have
go
physical,
yeah, you just go 2-4-0, and then with the ult you run him down. And if he spins, you just run him down with the edict. Like he can't turn an Omni. You got 1 armor item, and he can't kill you with the full Omni. You can just mow him down and keep your distance.
It's another one of those games where I think Leshrac, if he goes for like a quick shroud into like 4 shields, he's going to be an absolute menace in this game, tanking up. Like, because Vici Gaming's kill threat is basically they kill 1 hero and that's it. Like A blast plus a stun, that's the kill threat. If that's not online, they might struggle to cleanly kill someone, and that's where PL 20 minutes plus will thrive. And yeah, it's a lot of emphasis on Faith Beyond just kind of being a nuisance like he has been so far.
I don't like the PL, but I'll still go with PSG.LGD. They just look much better and in much better form at the moment. I dislike the PL pick though.
Is it gonna be as fast as game 1? Especially the first 10 minutes. We're gonna not wait for their answer. We're gonna find out if it's gonna be fast because our commentary team is ready. Let's head over to Lacoste and Gareth.
Thank you, Shiva. Yeah, here we are, game 2, Lacoste. I mean, Vici Gaming again with a solid-looking draft. Do you think it's going to be enough against that speed at which LGD have been playing?
Didn't see too much of a Phantom Lancer, but every single time I see him, there is a lot of counters to PL. This is not the last big Phantom Lancer, so they have some answers. They have this Juggernaut that builds into either Maelstrom or Battle Fury. Not a big fan of Battle Fury, but they have a Dragonite with the splash as well on top of it.
Yeah.
So should be okay. Looking at the PSG.LGD, nothing to say on his signature hero, Magnus mid. He has, like, I believe around 80% win rate on the hero. Last time I checked,
Exciting.
pretty insane.
Not really the same kind of TA Ember matchup that we saw where he got a couple of solo kills on Ori's Ember. We shouldn't see that kind of scenario again.
We
but
should
you
not
never
see
know.
that even in the previous game, but hell yeah, it happened. Nothing to say. Using skewers.
Is there a reason for that? Skewering trees, deforesting the area. LGD holding that Radiant, Dire, sorry, triangle.
Fabian really loves to spray Arteezy on the cliffs.
Oh, is that why they're here? The strat. Put Arteezy on the cliff top. Get your morale boosted up just by putting out some sprays. And they stay under their high ground vision. Well, a very good adaptation from Vici, moving onto that left side of the map. Get themselves a couple of bounty runes so they don't lose out anything before the creep wave spawns up. PYW with Poyoyo, Lion, Juggernaut.
That high ground ward that they placed will be the ward that maybe there's something that I'm not aware of. Why he skewered there. There was no heroes around, so that means that they had no vision. But maybe it's one of those little tricks.
Oh,
Skewer back.
into tower. Taking a lot of damage and forced away to the right side of that lane. And Ori, he's going to have to battle his way back to just try and hit some creeps. He can't do it. How many denies do we get here then for nothing to say? Good stun with the Dragon Tail, deny for Ori. And so far, DK 0-2 against Magnus's. Just one CS. Good courier snipe top though coming through. Tango's down and Jinkyu
Going in
is
for
going
the
for the
sec.
double, but the Earth Spike catches out the next assassin. A good spin there, back through the stun, and Jinkyu. That's your first blood. Poyoyo picks it up.
Baited by the courier. Did they get the second one as well?
They did.
They did.
Poyoyo.
So that's 50 gold times 5, 250, and they got the 290 for the first blood plus the experience, so really not worth it.
Well, Faith behind needs a salve. Healed up by Jinkyu. Mid lane again. I mean, nothing to say. Just keeps finding these skewers back under tower. Shockwave skewer, something that a lot of players have kind of figured out the combo there. Seeing it a fair amount in the off lane in particular with that Magnus Lina dual lane we've seen.
When you think pro players can't get any better, then you see the combo that you mentioned, Shockwave into skewers. We see Mars getting better and using the spears just to pull people back from it. Beautiful stuff going on from these professional e-gamers.
Yeah, absolutely is. And speaking of the Mars here, you know, looking very good with this Ice Blast. You've got the combos there. You have a setup once you hit your level 6s. Laning stage-wise, how's it going for Old Eleven and DY?
Mars having a okay time for CS compared to Finn. Not really okay, but a lot of harassment from Warlock. Warlocks, they usually start with Fatal Bombs level 1, secure the first creep wave for their carries, and this is pretty much the same thing always for Phantom Lancer. They start with a stick to have the mana spam, and then get Band of Elven skin. Was it called Boots of Elven skin before?
Oh, jeez.
Back in the Dota 1 days, maybe, at the start of Dota 2, I don't know why. And then they get Gloves of Haste, turn that into Power Treads. So Dragon Knight on the mid lane should be fine, even with the skewers back, 2 points in Dragon Blood. This is a new type of build on Dragon Knight where Dragon Tail actually deals damage, 70 mana, 70 damage, 2.5 second duration stun. So instead of getting that Breathe Fire, I've seen even like 1-4-4 build on Dragon Knights.
Just maxing it out. You can even use it to secure range creeps or whatever you want to in that lane. Nothing to say, going to clear that small camp while these Fatal Bonds bottom lane really are a nuisance. Mars and this Ancient Apparition just taking Fatal Bonds and Lancers to the back of the heads consistently. See there, Magnus clearing through small camp as it does, but a good stun top. Impale back from PYW allows Poyoyo to get away from Jinkyu. So far across the board here, 3 Radiant Cores all farming very comfortably. While the Cold Feet snaps bottom, Old 11 can't really do anything else.
Panel talked about how this is a good matchup for Lesh against the Juggernaut, which I agree with. I would prefer if he doesn't have a point in Lightning Storm, especially against Jug. 2-4-0 build is kind of what I want to see.
Yeah.
Juggernaut uses spin, Diabolic Edict, he dies. He cannot trade with you.
So what's the Lightning Storm for? Is that just to kind of slow
Securing
people?
the range is maybe set up for Next Assassin stun because he needs to be close. He doesn't have Winds of Speed yet, just casual Windlace.
Well, good pick off onto that Y Warlock. He was running pretty low on resources, so not a big deal for him. Could even consider the bottle refill if he needs to get back into that mid lane, but yeah, they've got water runes in that mid lane. They're all pretty self-sustaining, so he just gets back down to the bottom. Poyoyo, CS-wise, 20-4. Chain pulling out from PYW, trying to make sure this lane is a bit closer to the tower so the chain stuns don't come from the Nyx and the Leshrac too much.
Whenever I talk about Vici Gaming support, some how I feel, I'll say DYW for some reason. It's just a combination of the two players.
DYW. What is DY up to? He's stacking Ancients. Who's going to be clearing these? DK? I guess the Juggernaut can a bit later on, but needs some items to do so. And he misses out on that Ancient camp as well.
Maybe better. Sometimes, if you don't have the heroes to kill the stacks with, Mars can help out with the God's Rebuke. Juggernaut has some damage, but doesn't have that steroid, doesn't have the Empower. Especially against Mag, Leshrac, you need to be careful what you're stacking. We've seen so many times teams invading the enemy triangle and stealing the stack.
Okay, he's actually skewered back to his tower. Stunning Cold Feet though, trapping nothing to say there. And even though he's potentially on that tower and tanky, they've got 3 heroes surrounding him.
Very fancy interaction there with Impale and Skewer.
Floating in the air and sliding across the map, yeah.
A little bunny hop.
Jumping around. Someone fed him a cookie, but there's no grammar in this game.
What is this voice line? Steady from Phoebe? I kind of like it.
Team SMG, straight out of Southeast Asia. Ori, PYW, they find Jinkyu. 6-minute mark hits, Illusion Rune spawn bottom. They safeguard both runes there. Looks like DY gonna have to grab it, so nothing to say, can't refill his own bottle. Continues to play under that dire vision while Warlock has left that bottom lane. And leaves Old 11 now in a pretty free spot here to bully the Phantom Lancer and get tons of farm for himself. Like 14 denies on Old 11, he's playing out of his mind.
Something that Old 11 does pretty much always whenever he plays Mars is buy that Ring of Health to have the sustain in the lane.
All the stuns. Poyoyo, Fairy Fires and spins. Edict still going there. That physical damage with the right click from Jinkyu. Finds the kill on Jug while in comes Lion. Just
Another stun available.
They've got the turnaround on him, you're right. Oh, well, Lion wanted to chip away at Faith Beyond, but instead gives a double to Jinkyu.
I am Lion, but this was pretty bad. It really wasn't great. And they already used the Glyph. Didn't deal any damage to the mid tower.
Get me out of here.
Phantom Lancer, he needs level 6 before going back to jungle. Just wants to be able to collect some XP. Good thing is he has a Warlock with him, so he can provide some sustain.
Oh, Poyoyo looking for revenge. Slices the next assassin, gets rid of the pest in his lane. That was before the Leshrac could have regened and returned to that top lane himself. There's a Tranquil Boost Lesh there. Something that I haven't seen too much.
Now he's just keeping it for the extra movement speed. We'll turn that possibly into Ether Hood. And Yule Scepter, so the efficiency is there. Like, you can keep this throughout the whole game if you don't get hit while you have Tranquils. Something that Milan on his Earth Spirit does quite well.
Absolutely does. That's a good shout. A good setup by Jinkyu. He knows that this move from Vici Gaming is coming. Obs and Sentry gonna get dewarded by DY, and a good 2-man stun there, and an RP catching Lion under the tower. Nothing to say. Hexed up, but gets the finish. Tower down is enough, and now Vici Gaming kind of stuck in this spot. Y and Jinkyu have that help of the Magnus to skew it forward, and another shockwave drags him back for a double kill.
Great execution. He just gets a solo RP. Doesn't matter too much. In the start, if you get the solo RPs on a target, you get a kill. And now in the mid lane, that Edict level 3. A lot of pressure on tier 1 tower mid.
It sure is. Nyx has come in here trying to force Ori away, so it keeps Faith Beyond safe, pushing that tower. Taking it down to about half already.
Cute little play there. Drops his Tranquils when he was about to get hit, and already has it available again. A lot of efficiency, something that IG was very good during the Singapore Major, giving heroes Ocean Heart when they're just running inside the river, keeping the books in case someone needs it. I believe there was one game where they had the 3 books available on books / stones.
So little micro plays.
Yes.
That do make a difference. Why? Scouting out some stacks. 2 supports surround him though, and it looks like Ori wants to come in and clear that one up, getting himself a kill for the Dragon Knight. Protect their stacks and make sure it's not stolen out, like you were saying, that Magnus with the RP, the Fatal Bombs, even the Leshrac to a large extent. So good at moving into the enemy jungle and taking the resources which have been built up for them. And a good spread of the map here from Vici Gaming, honestly. Poyoyo is farming top. They've got a bit of aggression mid from Ori. Faith Bian going to run back towards that tier 1 tower though. And at some point you've got to bring numbers to defend this. LGD have everybody grouped up mid looking for the push.
And there's the numbers. This is what they need. Mars
Cancels.
The TP actually cancels because they were going back. Next assassin, 3 floppy hats. Okay. Like usually there's a meme that they need to buy like 6 boots because they have 6 legs.
How many heads has he got? Oh, he's got to catch on to that Mars. Shockwave in, but nothing to say. Not wanting to commit. A little bit spooky there for LGD.
Super tanky. Our next assassin has a Ferris trinket, which also gives him an extra 100 HP.
That's a Dire Sentry, Dire Observer Ward. Giving vision across onto that Warlock. Isolated behind his own tier 1 tower. So this should lead to that first objective really being claimed here by Vici Gaming.
You're fortunate.
Tower down thanks to the catapult and TP back across the map. They've got to be fast though. They've got to stop LGD in their tracks from building up this lead because Arme Phantom Lancer with Empower is going to be an incredible force.
Ame immediately TPs to the top lane, wants to be able to finish off that Diffusal Blade. They can still take this fight 4 versus 5 because Warlock is level 6. Fluffy Cats are not going to save him here. Multiple Fluffy Cats is, at least in pubs, what was Shadow Amulet before.
Oh, is it really?
It really is.
That meme item you built a ton of.
You get 4 or 5, you know that's pretty much the Shadow Amulet. They're done.
So yeah, Warlock you mentioned hits level 6, 3-2-0-1 build, so he's definitely going for this one big fight hit.
I love the build when you put more points in Fatal Bonds, especially with Flash Rack, a lot of shared damage.
It's cool though. Arena Spear and the finger there from PYW. LGD, it felt like they were the ones that were out map finding these first moves, but it's been a really good, tight group up. Vici Gaming play small map together, take these clear-cut fights and objectives, not really wasting too much time and spreading out back into the lanes and keeping the pressure on LGD as that slight net worth lead is building up for Vici.
Because they didn't take a single fight for the last 2 minutes when Golem was available. I believe PSG.LGD will wait until there is Diffusal Blade done. On Phantom Lancer, Magnus, Blink Dagger already done, going into Echo Saber, pretty standard stuff when nothing to say plays Magnus. Lashrak, however, I believe that's Hood that he's building. Yep. No point to get Guardian Greaves this game. You're playing it into Ancient Apparition, something that offlane Lashraks love to build. So Hood, more tanky.
I'll take that.
There you go, Hood. Mules. Think about the Eternal Shroud. I think that T-Governor was talking about. Maybe even scale into that more carry-oriented Lash with the Kaya Sands, the Bloodstone, things along those lines. We'll see what direction he goes, though, because LGD right now moving. With Jinkyu leading the charge. Vendetta Smoke gonna pop. That smoke of DY. They get the dust on him, but the engine apple. Oh, it's so quick. Cancel on the RP. That was a 3-man line. But they've still got the goal and dropped it on top of them. Oh, he's trying to escape from this. The spear through to Magnus, old 11. Trying to claim the life with nothing to say, but the Ice Blast there he does. Faith Bian now being omni-slashed. Vici Gaming. Beautiful strike back onto LGD. And they've got a 4th one. A 3rd one, sorry. It thinks Assassin caught by the stuns. Demolished by the God's Rebuke.
So unfortunate for LGD. If he gets that RP off on 3 people, they would follow it up with the Rock, with the Lashrak coming on from the left side of the map, and it would be an easy fight, but unfortunately did not get it, so that means 3 big kills. We talked about the itemization. This time around, Juggernaut going into Battle Fury. It's an item that in certain situations it's good, as we talked about in the previous game, very good against the Phantom Lancer. You do not want to buy a Maelstrom. He gets the Hood possibly on Phantom Lancer and you still don't deal well with it. It only jumps 4 times or more illusions than 4, so it makes a lot of sense.
And you always have that fear that an empowered carry is going to be outscaling you and out-farming you.
Something to notice that carry started to do with the implementation of the stats. Juggernaut, we're going back to, what was that era? You know, when he went for 1-1-1 build and then the stats.
It was like 2012-13, right? Where we had Anti-Mage and Juggernaut going 1-1-1 stat build.
It was the Map of Madness. I believe it was 7.7, 7.8 with the Troll Sniper.
Good catch. 11 again. These aggressive steps forward, finds the Lashrak, and that's the combo we've been waiting for, the Arena Ice Blast. So easily capable of taking down core heroes with just a pairing. And LGD, they're being set up on here. PYW looking to spring that trap. They don't get too over-eager on the tier 2.
Look at Juggernaut's stats. Plus 18, he gets the stats talent, some from the magic wand, some from the Armor tree. Still doesn't feel too tanky considering the old things that he got. 1400 HP seems pretty low.
It's going to build up with that Sanjin Yasha though. Status resistance going to help him out tremendously against the RP. The next stuns.
bottom tower is about to fall.
LGD just looking to make a base camp up in that top side of the map. That jungle now double warded up by Y. Looking to catch out any smoke moves that Vici Gaming make, because that's the primary way Vici want to play right now. Make sure that they can get out on the map, find these arena ice blasts, keep the Juggernaut farming safely. It's almost a race against time here. Juggernaut DK up against this Magnus Phantom Lancer.
They will have tools to deal with PL and the illusions. The Dragon Knight level 2 ulti is up, so there is splash damage. There is Battle Fury done on Juggernaut, as we already mentioned. I want to see a big fight. I want to see a smoke from PSG.LGD. Get this usage of the rock once again. Fatal Bounce maxed out. Echo Saber done on Magnus, so another good item. I don't think they cannot wait for Phantom Lancer to get his second item. It takes a bit more time.
Yeah, go with what you've got. You've built up some nice key timings here. Probably go time for them in a matter of seconds. Vici Gaming is very patiently playing 3 lanes basically, farming out very efficiently. Dragon Knight nearly stepping toe-to-toe with Wise Warlock, who's been sat up here for a good 2-3 minutes. Both teams really not too eager to make any rash decisions. Bide their time and wait for their carries to give them the green flag. It does feel a bit awkward though for Vici Gaming having to always come back and defend this top lane though. I think that's something LGD are doing very well. Compare it to the bottom lane, which is pretty much always in the bottom right-hand corner, the elbow of the map. Whereas LGD here with Edict on the tier 2, hiding in the trees. Lashrak taking that tower down. And Vici Gaming being scouted out. Those wards again. The double coverage spots them out. Ice Blast coming in with a blink stun from Ori. They catch Faith BM. They will turn around on the DY. Ancient Apparition spotted out by Jinkyu and Arme. Illusions there. Starting to irritate Old 11 and Ori as well.
Dragon Knight plus Mars, they're very tanky, so PSG.LGD does not want to initiate on them early on. Juggernaut will become more tanky once he finishes that SNY. Stun durations are not going to be as long.
Ooh, they walked into that. Smoking straight into the PL. Dragon Knight loses the majority of his mana pool.
He still deals damage. Like, Dragon Knight's one of those heroes that doesn't care too much about his mana
Do
pool.
they want to fight this? They will catch the Warlock. Dragon Tail, Golden Fuse, Chain Stun. Why? No answer from LGD there. Even with, Golem with RP ready, they want to be fighting as a 5-man unit. And without Faith Bian, they don't feel like they've got the damage. And he's shown himself on that mid lane. Finger of death and the slices from Poyoyo. Down you go.
Poyoyo, what a pro. Uses Omni Slash just so that Lion gets that finger stack.
Kills him up quick enough. 2 core kills. Quick succession there from Vici Gaming, both on the Lashrak. Shutting down his game, basically. 6k net worth. He's a good 2,000 behind the Mars at this point. He's only going to feel squishier as the game progresses.
Next set of items for Vici Gaming, Blink Dagger on Mars, Dragon Knight with a BKB, and you will have SNY done on Jug, so they can start getting some more pressure on the map. Right now they did a very good job at just being able to split the fight, not take the full 5-on-5 engagement. They get a pick off and feels like the game's done. Without Lashrak, they don't have enough damage.
That middle tower full?
Yeah, and then keeping Juggernaut in that bot lane, he's top of the net worth right now against an empowered Phantom Lancer, against this Magnus, who should be farming incredibly quickly.
Dire's middle tower.
I think the macro play here from Vici has been absolutely spot on. Making sure that now LGD don't let them have the ancient camp. And also, potentially, going on to Ori with the RP. Phantom Lancer doesn't have any mana to burn. The Ice Blast flying in. Ori incredibly tanky. They need to drop the Golem on him as Old 11 arrives now. Ori will die, but Poyoyo coming through, getting more sniped down. Mars Arena catching out the next with a spear. Fly about to get critted down by Poyoyo, and then the stuck, finishing him off at long last. They do lose that DK first, and now the next assassin traded out as DY. This Phantom Lancer, no real way to deal with him, and the illusions, Poyoyo chased down by Arme. They missed the stun though. Why with the golem running forward, and with nothing to say there, great shockwave, skewer forward and catch out that Juggernaut. Old 11 is trapped down on the low ground now, and he's stunned up. LGD find a 5-man. They've killed everybody.
PSG.LGD, they used the strength of a Phantom Lancer in that fight, going in and out multiple times, just being able to burn all of their mana, because Juggernaut used that Omni Slash on a mid lane, didn't have it for a fight, and this is the big damage that they need.
When Juggernaut's on the back foot, like, he just can't handle that PL. Now they've got a Solar Crest for him as well. And all of that net worth in your Juggernaut felt like it was close to meaningless in that fight.
Spent quite a lot of time to kill Dragon Knight.
He didn't have any mana to burn.
Didn't have any mana. Popped the magic one in the end, and you can feel how much more damage PL does once the hero has mana. BKB done now on him, plus level 15 as well on top of it. Didn't go for the talent. I love the Dragon Tail stun talent, because if you're playing for the really late game, if you manage to get that level 25, it's insanely good.
That AoE Dragon Tail.
Dragon Tail.
It's nuts. Poyoyo, they were looking for an Ice Blast jump there. Lion
to the impurity.
has the blink. He needs to get away.
Lion, after getting the Blink Dagger, trying to build a shard, multiple mana drain, which is great against some of the heroes, and also you can deal well with the PL illusions. Nothing to say, getting jumped on plus of heads.
Can they kill him off here? They've got Nation Apparition coming in too. Faith Beyond, he can't save his buddy. Nothing to say. Skewered up to that high ground, thinking he'd have a free bounty rune, some free jungle caps to farm, but Ori was ready and waiting for him. And now Vici Gaming transfer it towards the tier 1. They're looking for any stragglers. The next assassin is still up in that top tree line though. Tier 1 tower, gonna drop regardless. Don't need to creep wave to kill it off when you've got Dragon Form.
Radiant's top tower.
Jin Q, yeah, TPing away.
Tower has fallen.
PL going for Manta style this game. Instead of S and Y, there are things that you can dispel. Breathe Fire is okay. You still have one form of dispelling with Doppelganger. You're playing into Lion, so I would prefer if you get status resistance.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good. Maybe he's worried about being isolated in Omni Slash. You know, after Doppelganger, maybe they clear the illusions. He wants something a little more to try and get away from the Jug.
Illusion.
More illusions are good. Faith Beyond back into that BKB. The itemization that we really expected and we wanted from him.
Double damage.
As Vici Gaming ready themselves for Roshan. High ground ward, DD rune for DK. Mid lane dealt with. For the most part anyway. PL illusions, of course, always going to be a perpetual nuisance.
Yeah, and it's going to become tougher and tougher for supports to deal with it. Shard done. That means bounces one more time, and then illusions, Spirit Illusion deals 60% of the damage.
That bouncing lance. Faith Beyond, Yule's up old 11. Can he move fast enough with the phase boots and the Yules? He wants to catch this Leshrac. Dive in tier 2. LGD notices this happening. They just left Faith Beyond stranded down here. They're not going to come and help him. Bringing TPs now, but he looks pretty dead to me. Poyoyo and old 11. Some real aggressive moves there, down to that bottom lane. Well, Arme, Jin Q can't move forward. Just wait it out. Buy BKBs, get to that additional time, like 25 minutes in. They'll feel much better about themselves.
They managed to get some more farm on the map, nothing to say playing the top part, getting closer to his BKB. I believe it's flying on the courier, yes it is. So you need to care pretty much about the Omni Slash and Ancient Apparition ulti. Other things, not so much. Dragon Knight, he's even itemizing to deal with PL even more. Has splash damage going into Maelstrom.
He's also got GQ here, and Poyoyo making the jump. Takes down the next. LGD, several times now it feels like they're putting these heroes, it's 4 stacks of finger kills there. Really huge for Poyoyo with an Aghanim shard to his name. Greg, do you think LGD, is it sloppiness, or is it them just trying to extend the game as long as possible? Because there's lots of heroes out on the map, forcing Vici Gaming to make plays on their side of the river.
Vici Gaming, they just have a better late game with 3 scaling cores, and Mars is even itemizing, skipping the Blink Dagger, going into Satanic to be able to deal with the PL. One God's Rebuke will give him back a lot of HP. It's also a Dispel mechanic against the Fatal Bonds. Not too bad.
It's going to be massive. Massive Mars. LGD feeling that. Smoking up towards the Roche pit. Dire Vision, of course, as we've seen it is there, and I think why try and get rid of some of it. DY and PYW, 2 supports out in the open. Courier on the high ground. They'll see the sentry. Hello, Courier down. Old 11 can't jump towards them, but the Ice Vortex slows them down.
Lion, killing 3 illusions and also becoming spell immune, which will save him against the possibly Nyx Assassin, getting his mana burned. Great shard.
And there's the counter D-ward by Vici. Roshan completely untouched. It's very delicate gameplay from both sides.
If Lion gets to level 20, I want to see which talent he's going to go for. Mana Drain restores allies is not bad against Nyx Assassin and PL. I don't mean, you know, they have more mana, so they deal more damage, but if the fight is like over, if you kill one of those heroes, then you can replenish their mana possibly, and you're also spell immune while doing it to the ally.
Oh, nice. Feels like another save for yourself. Arcane Rune up at top.
Just what I've been.
That's good.
Nice way to grieve inside pubs. You're playing against mana burn, means more damage dealt by mana burn.
More damage. Vici, smoke breaks. BYW, the immediate hang. The roll drops on the Lion. Boom, the reset and the RP. They come back onto the core heroes. DQ with a turnaround stop. Catches out. But Vici Q's dead. Poyo spinning. And always turns with a stun on to Fabian. Yes, they find the mark. So much more with the Omni Slash. Cancelled out by the Yules. Into the creep wave will jump. Poyo now trapped by the tier 2. But Phantom Manta is struggling to stick on target.
And now it's time for PL to shine. He needs to burn the mana.
Gets on him now. Already down. Y comes out with a double kill. Poyo's spin has ended. Skewer forward. Nothing to say. Gets the shockwave back. DY down again.
They can go inside a pit. This is the first Roche 27 minutes in. Usually we see an earlier Roche kill because there's a lot of Templar Assassins, a lot of Ursas in the game. Both of these lineups are really not that great at it. Great draw from Y to split up the fight, and then a nice RP. Well, I believe it was on 3 heroes.
Right. Caught out a couple of cores there. I was getting worried, man. That Phantom Lance losing pretty much his entire team. Has the Warlock to back him up and starts to get on top of these heroes.
It's just super annoying to play against BL, who's sitting in the back with the shard. Etherlands has that cast range, so what they want to do is try to prolong the fight. Yeah. Keep them busy during the BKB. They have BKB piercing abilities, rock, RP, and then go in again with the PL. Now he's holding Aegis, going into Scotty next. I'm fine with Etherlands. I'm not a big fan of upgrading it to Octarine core straight away. I would still prefer if that's like either Scotty or maybe even one more damage item like a Butterfly. Scotty's completely fine, being able to reduce the healing that comes out from the Juggernaut's healing ward. You have Dragon Knight as well on top of it. Mars will have Satanic. Nope, changing his mind. It's just a casual Reaver for now.
Oh, he's going Overwhelming Blink.
Overwhelming Blink.
So wanting that jump factor. It does really feel like it comes down to Vici Gaming. Well, like you're saying, PSG want to extend the fights, and Vici Gaming want those snappy, quick kills with Finger, Arena, Ice Blast. They need to blow up not just one target, but several. And really, they've got to focus on some of these core heroes too. As we saw, Old Levin really getting on top of Lashrak whenever he possibly can.
They also lost the gem, nothing to say holding it now, so they will be able to get rid of the Sun Vision. Earlier gems, something the Chinese teams love to pick up, to be able to devord, especially if they're ahead, and they're also playing against the Nyx Assassin. Jin Q finding the farm, a lot of farm on the map being found by this Nyx Assassin, who does not have a farming tool, has Etherlands done, and also going into Aghanim Scepter, just 400 gold away.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're coming back to what I was asking before about LGD playing very sporadically on the map. Very spread out as well, making sure they've got heroes in every lane, pushing waves, scouting out any intel they can spot the Vici Gaming are doing, and also picking up that little bit of farm here and there.
Cast range is going to be
Dire's
insane.
top tower has
With
some
Lens
radiant-shaped
and Aghanim Scepter on next, the damage reduction that he gets, I don't know if they can blow him up.
If he's burrowed, yeah, it's going to be difficult. You need to chuck everything at him. And again, you need these ultis to be able to kill off core heroes, not just the supports. Group up again from Vici. Hold some staircases. Wait for LGD to move towards you because they've got this Aegis and you know the pressure will start mounting against your objectives. It looks like the pings started as if LGD wanted to push tier 1 bottom lane. But first they want to claim a bit of land.
Ahmed will connect with the team right now, just wants to be able to get that Scotty before the next fight. So we'll push out the bottom lane, go to the side shop, buy Scotty, kill tier 1 tower. We can already see why his positioning behind the tower plants down a sentry ward and an observer ward.
Oh yeah, keep that vision going.
Dire's
The
bottom
double
tower
wards from LGD throughout this game. Y has been very specific about where he wants to keep that coverage. If you remember back, what, 20 minutes into the game, we had the double wards in the top part of the jungle when they needed to control Roshan, control the top outpost. And now they're
Because for a
thinking about
moment,
these tier 2s and high ground.
I thought that was just the sentry ward. He places them at the exact same spot.
And then Ice Blast, they're blowing him up and they've got the pick on, nothing to say.
Look at Dire's
Vici
bottom tower.
Gaming, they spend 3 ultis there, 4 I guess with a DK as well, popping Dragon Form. And Magnus down for 70.
This ward that White plays, it's kind of the same thing what you're doing with techies. I'm not a techies expert where it looks like there's one mine, but there are multiple mines. So sentry
beyond.
ward at the same exact spot, made beyond, force back.
Yeah, good BKB as well, and that's stuck. Snatching out a couple. Your illusions causing some serious problems in the goal. White gets it off in time. Yours up to Mortal 11. Oh, man. We're going to try and get out of here. The golem is dead. There's a static charge from the Dragon Knight. Spreading damage out onto Jin Q as well. He's a tanky next, but he will fall. The high ground push gets halted.
Surprised they decided to take that fight without Magnus, not respecting the damage coming out from the Omni Slash and also Ancient Apparition ulti. First, Juggernaut uses the Quick Slash, follows it up with the Omni Golem. Sometimes this ability does not feel strong at all. You drop the
actual unit
Golem
itself.
and it straight up dies to a couple of right clicks from Jug.
I mean, how much of this is LGD thinking, hey, they need to spend Omni Slash here. Now we've got 100 seconds where everyone's going to be respawned, ready to go again.
Not the best timing. I don't think they can take another fight with Aegis. It will expire in 40 seconds. Maybe if they had extra 30, they would definitely go in and try to force a fight, possibly near the tier 2 tower on the mid lane.
But not an option right now. That's a good hold by Vici. And they spend every ulti killing off the Nyx, killing off the Magnus, sorry, and then in fact that Nyx and the rest of them down bottom lane. Limited vision though there as we see. Just one observer board placed into that lane spot mid and nothing to say. Danger gets hit in the mid lane again. Ice blasted and gone.
There are no saves whatsoever. They get a good jump. BYW with Lion has been really on point after picking up the Blink Dagger. Now with Ether Lens, it's going to be even more easier. 4 sticks of Finger, as you mentioned, getting closer to level 18, so might be able to get the 2 fingers in a team fight.
If you can catch a glimpse here of somebody. You're going to mana drain the illusion first. They do scout out Vici Gaming here. Army from the trees, sending illusions out so they know someone's lurking there. It's Jin Q and Faith Beyond for now. A little bit of a spooky position to be in there for Vici Gaming. Even with their ultis up and they make the jump. DK PKBs, the Ice Blast Finger, the combo onto Jin Q. Nick
No
gone for a
buyback
minute.
on him.
No buyback, you're right. So nothing to say, he's got a line his plate now. The good Earth split lands onto Ori and Phantom Lance is going to start opening up on the DK. Beautiful from LGD. Demolishes Ori as old 11. Left stranded. The rest of his squad, they bail. The stuns from Faith Beyond connecting, getting double kill here to Ori. Can he get it into? No.
He whiffs everything. The skewer range talent actually messes it up. Couldn't blink back. Whew, unfortunate there. That would be a big kill because he used the buyback in that previous fight. Phantom Lancer finds the healing ward straight away in a team fight, sends a couple of illusions to kill it, which needs to be done.
Still 2 heroes down for a minute though, and with his level 4 edict just, look at it, shreds through your buildings. They don't stand a chance. Structure ceasing to exist here as Faith Beyond puts it into 5th gear. And Phantom Lance a doppelganger to high ground. Sends the illusions forward, trying to burn some of the mana and do a bit of chip damage to the supports. There's no buyback here for DK or the Mars, is there? No?
Nope.
Not at all.
And this shard on Leshrac, first I thought it was a hot garbage, and then I saw it in the action. It's one of the best shards, top 5 shards in the game, no doubt about it. Allows you to just stand inside of it and keep fighting, because eventually it will pop up. Now they get one set of barracks, so they can go back. Need to be a bit more careful with Max's positioning. Right now, going into AC, used the buyback in the previous fight. I possibly want to see some, like, Eon disc being made. There's one Force Staff on Warlock. Nyx Assassin, what is he building?
Some kind of
Scepters, any kind of save, because I like what Vici has been doing the last 2 fights. They know the threat of this Nyx Assassin if he manages to get out multiple impels in a fight. So they just blow him up with Ancient Apparition. He is the target.
That's a good point, right? The chain stun you've got, you mentioned the axe shard here on Faith Beyond. He gets jumped with a quick BKB. The Golem, they throw things towards Ori. Faith Beyond's being hit with a physical damage. Poyoyo tracks back onto Leshrac. The self-fuels, and now the arena comes down. The Hexa, no spike, finger of death. Finding the target of White still alive. Tanks through it as Faith Beyond fights back. White dies at long last, and Poyoyo picks up a triple kill. But LGD still ready to fight. Oh, they full HP. Here comes the Battle Lance. It's his game to win. And I don't think LGD are going to let Vici Gaming get anything more out of this. Poyoyo with a good spin TP, and DY's back in Fountain 2.
2 buybacks again, expended by PSG.LGD. One on Fate Beyond, one on Jin Q, and once again, Ancient Apparition just aiming that bug in a fight. Roche will respawn in 50, so they need to outpush the top lane. Bottom lane is being pushed. No RPs whatsoever being used in the last 4 or 5 fights. Nyx Assassin only gets one set of stun, one set of mana burn, and then he dies. So I wouldn't mind seeing...
Love you too. JJ drawing hearts on the map.
Thank you, JJ.
Can you draw a cat? That's my favorite.
I think you're asking too much, Gary.
Yeah, he does a great job as it is. Oh,
here we go.
Something. Is it a boat? Yeah. Is that calm water?
Pretty calm.
Smooth sailing. Yeah, you're right. You know, this RP, the Leshrac. They've got tons of chain stun capabilities pairing up with the Nyx Assassin, but when nothing to say is the one immediately getting jumped, hexed, out of the fight, can't blink RP, can't find the opening. And is it Shadow Blade time for him? Does he have to just play from fog? So Magnus is having some struggles.
Maybe he has Satanic queued up next, just more HP. It's tough. I think maybe at this point, I mentioned the Eon disc, which doesn't allow you to scale, but we've seen some carry players prioritizing it. Might be the thing. Sitting at 400 gold right now is like, whatever, can't really buy anything. But next Roche, Cheese Aegis +1, I think they should give Mag Aegis to be able to... But you don't get too much value out of the Cheese. Possible AA alt hits, you get no heal whatsoever. And we see AA ulti once again, hits Roshan, hits Nyx Assassin, immediately burrows out.
Well, I see everything in that pit. 30 seconds still for your Magnus. So Vici Gaming going to be the ones that can assert dominance on that side of the map.
Octarine, 25. On Phantom Lancer, Spirit Lance cooldown goes 3 seconds, super annoying. Doppelganger 4.5 seconds, and you have a Scotty plus a full butterfly. Juggernaut also itemized for Mjolnir, not going for MKB. Mjolnir still gives you that true strike on procs, something that DK also has.
And that static charge bouncing lightning around everywhere.
Radiant have
Super good as we get to this point now where BKBs are wearing down, magic damage starts to become a little more potent.
Big upgrade from Maelstrom to Mjolnir, from 4 to 12 targets that it hits, and there's going to be a lot of PL illusions. So possibly 24 bounces coming out from 2 Mjolnirs.
That's a lot of lightning. Nothing to say. This time around, he's not going to go walking down that mid lane 3 times in a row. He's been caught by the Blink Hex, so being much more passive with his positioning now. But it's Vici Gaming that are in the pit. LGD preparing themselves. Roshan at half health already. Can they spot inside? They're pinging it out. Roshan is already dead. The stun from Nyx comes out onto 2 of them. Shard dropped, Aegis grabbed up. Poyoyo now with a couple of lives.
Timeless Relic, this is big. This is the best item you can get on the next assassin. Right now he's holding on to ceremonial rope, but he should give it to someone else, and then he has this long duration stun on the impale. You also lower the status resistance with it. What is Warlock holding? Trusty shovel for now. So he should get the ceremonial rope, longer duration stuns. If you want, you can do the Mad Carry, but I need to first see. Oh, he's actually holding the Stormcrafter.
On the next.
Interesting.
Oh, well. So who's going to get that? Who's going to get that big tier?
No one has it.
Let's leave it back in base. There's a flicker there being dropped by Vici Gaming. I guess Ori's going to be the one there to take that. And there's Minotaur Horn found by the Magnus.
Magnus himself.
I like that everyone here is farming Ancients, making sure you've got that drop rate going. Creep camps being cleared. All the neutral items being picked up there.
He found his own horn and does not want to use it.
What's he? He's got a leveler, yeah.
I think it's much safer to get that horn. You can actually have both and then swap back leveler when you're attacking the buildings.
Oh, they're giving it to Leshrac. It looks like Warlock takes the Timeless Relic as well, so Fatal Bonds, more damage.
I would prefer if they swap the items. Maybe Nyx Assassin is thinking, I need a defensive tool, has a Force Staff, Stormcrafter is a Dispel mechanic while he's burrowed. They need to find a way that he doesn't get hit by Ancient Apparition ulti.
Oh, that's got to be one of the keys. Arcane Rune spotted.
Just what I've been waiting for.
Ori yet again going to have that decreased cooldown on the dragon form.
Also, I'm wondering what the interaction is if you use Stormcrafter while you're burrowed. Because it throws you in the air, and then when you land, maybe you need to use another burrow.
No, I think you stay burrowed like you're.
Yeah. It's like Yule Scepter, but
maybe he'll try it
I'm
here.
just meaning, let's test it. Jin Q, please, if you're listening, click the button.
He's on the high ground, but he's also underground, forcing himself back down to low ground. And Vendethering up. Age is still in hand for quite some time here on that Juggernaut. Vici Gaming. Gotta be wary. Oh, Poyoyo. Missing out the stun there, Jin Q. Didn't catch the Jug.
Jug has a shard, something that we didn't mention, so you can have more movement speed during your spin, and also proc stuff with your right clicks during the spin. Who got the second shard? They gave it to Mars. Mars holding a shard on top of the overwhelming blink.
His initiation. So,
Dragonite. This is big. I want to see that level 25, the 375 AoE Dragon Tail stun, but only during the form.
Only during the dragon form with the range. He's not going to go for that Aghanim Scepter or anything like that.
Because it's great against the PL illusions.
Stuns them all. Oh, Jin Q. Oh.
He went for a different... I'm actually disappointed. He went for Dragon Blood, HP regen, and armor. I mean, it gives him more sustain against the PL and the illusions, but I would prefer the other one.
That would have been cool. Vici Gaming, though, they set up for the two-match Spear Arena. Hold 11. Beautiful. Wise clear through, and Armane's about half HP. Dragonite comes in. They start up an Ice Blast and down. Nothing to stay gone with a finger. And Armane stuck in the tree. Manta style, doppelganger ready again. Turnaround stun. There's Nyx Assassin holds out for his PL. Vici Gaming on the run forward, though. The RP. He's got three of them. He just cleaves them its way. Oh, that's Magnus. Monumental pickoffs there from Nothing to Say. That could be just the defense of the base. Ori and Poyoyo still going, though. Magnus in trouble now. PL. Can he do it with that split up landing? Poyoyo and the DK in trouble, but the cleaves. The damage being spilled out onto that Phantom Lantern forces him back.
That's Aegis. Dragonite decides to jump in. Has Satanic, has Cheese, so can get the mana back and the HP if needed.
They still have Omni Slash as well. Juggernaut, is he going to spend it? No, there's a Lotus up there, so he spins and sprints forward instead. Beyond Godlike Jug now. And Phantom Lance are the only hero left standing.
Abe needs to be careful. One jump from Lion could potentially just kill him there. He's running out of slots. Has 7,000 gold, hit that level 26. It was a good buyback from Nothing to Say. He goes in, hides inside the trees on the right side of the tower, lands a 3-man RP. It's a problem because they already used buybacks in the previous fight, so they did not have it.
Yeah, we're running pretty low here for LGD.
And look at that, BYW restoring mana on his Dragonite with the shard, level 20 talent, while being magic in use.
There you go, buddy. I've got plenty. Take some of the line. And up to the high ground we go. Vici Gaming just waiting this entire game out. And you said it, the triple core here, that Mars, Jug, and Dragon Knight showing how strong they can be. Still respecting LGD though. They will have 3 heroes alive in a second as Nyx comes back from the grave. Phantom Lancer trying to hunt down the healing ward, but unsuccessful in doing so. It's still very annoying. There's bouncing lamps jumping around and PL illusions stacking up. Vici not wanting to push it too far forward.
You see the mana drain potential. Problem is you're giving mana to allies and then you don't have it, but you can get it back, and we can see the full potential of it when you're draining 2 or 3 targets. Instantly goes back to full.
Right, we'll push out that mid wave all the way against these super creeps as well. Mid lane Diarax. All gone. 3 lanes converging in towards LGD's back.
That's almost level 30.
LGD going to be 5 alive here soon, but yeah, level 30 Jug, every green light there lit up for LGD, for Vici Gaming and LGD. We've got one big fight left in us. PL buyback, Warlock buyback, DK, Ancient Apparition all joining the ranks of heroes that can return to the fight.
And also Mars hit level 25 just now. Arena of Blood grants you 180 HP regeneration inside of it. Everyone get in.
What a bounty!
Get over here.
What a movie. I watched the new movie. It was so disappointing. Just kidding, you have to watch. We were talking about the Mortal Kombat movie. It's so bad that it's so good.
The cult classic. Wow, old Levin has to yawn, but at the stun. Or he's in on the PL, the chain to save off their Hex and the kill. Arme dead, has to buy back. Nothing to say, don't get the catch on PYW. 100 seconds without a lion. Poyoyo, he's spinning forward. He wants Wally. The arena from old Levin is finding pick-off after pick-off. You have Yules on the Juggernaut, but yeah, the Mag's in trouble. They stunned them and caught by the DK. Gone for 100. LGD now 100% reliant on this Phantom Lancer. Illusions are out, burning mana, doing a bit of chip damage, but Vici Gaming don't seem to care too much.
Everyone is full HP on side of Vici Gaming. That arena keeping them nice and healthy. The healing ward on top of it. Dragon Knight has a ton of regen as well. And also keeping the cheese. Still didn't pop it. Arcane Rune bottom. Unfortunately, Ame had to buy back. Now has enough gold to buy a full Bloodthorn, which is going to be a lot of burst damage with the illusions when they get a good jump. There isn't a single, like, a save mechanic in this game, which they would definitely love to have. There is a force stab, doesn't do too much. Why? He also brought back the previous fight.
Faith Beyond's coming in, but that swift slap from Poyoyo so easily demolishes the Warlock. And there's the jump from old 11, the arena, but the missing spear. Thanks to Stormcraft, Jinkyu's still dead though. And Faith Beyond gonna following him into the grave. A buyback from Nyx Assassin. 2 versus 4 at this point, and every lane moving in towards the Radiant base.
This is it. They have one more fight. If they lose this fight, the game just ends. For PSG.LGD, they need multiple men. RP, skewer back possibly into tier 4 towers, get up 1 or 2 kills, prolong the team fight, burn the mana. Lion is the target that they need to kill. He's getting very close to Eon Disc, just 500 gold away, so you're not going to be able to even get a good jump on him.
Go on, Golem. Go on, Golem. Get onto that high ground. Ori and PYW will contend with the creep wave. Hexing up the Golem as well. Greaves done on the Ancient Apparition now. 1 minute 20 for the next Roshan if they need that. They are.
I'm a genie in a bottle. What a good old classic.
Great rendition by you as well, Lacoste.
Indeed.
Beautiful voice.
Back to more Dota talk. Overwhelming Blink, what seems to be the underwhelming Blink in the previous patches, now feels the strongest one.
Yeah, especially on these incredibly tanky heroes. We're going to go back into Satanic now. We do start to see these Eon Discs get picked up as the buybacks aren't really available for too many people anymore, and getting the jump and having the numbers advantage seems so important. Early game, LGD did exactly that. They got the pickoffs they needed, convert them into towers, but since 30 odd minutes or so, Vici Gaming have been the ones But especially the Blink Hex from Lion, finding the immediate jump, pick off onto Magnus, onto Warlock.
Poyoyo was all over the place in the mid game, going on the targets, kind of enabling them to get to this point. Juggernaut hit level 30, that means 1 extra seconds on Omni Slash, on top of Omni Slash, coming out from the Aghanim Scepter.
They got on too. That's a good start for LGD. PYW slowed by the upheaval. The turnaround stun Poyoyo also spinning in, but the RP, nothing to say. He's cleared through 2 already. Arena, they're going to catch out the Warlock and Sidle. Wise on the left-hand side, Faith Piana's taken down. Leshrac gone with no buyback on him. And Roshan alive. Jin-Q burrowed. They've got that blood turban on the Juggernaut. Poyoyo
The spell is
out of mana now.
Completely.
Struggling to deal with the PL illusions. I mean, LGD, they can move into the pit here if they want to.
They need it. They definitely need it on Ahmed to be able to get that Aegis brought back in the previous fight. Not gonna have it for a while.
GQ frontlining.
Radiant
Scans. Connect from both teams. Red circles on the map. Deep start. 2 men. Impale in. Upheaval slows them. Aegis grabbed by Ahmed. Cheese, Aghanim Scepter, all the goodies. Straight into the pockets of LGD.
Aghanim Scepter, who picked it up?
Looks like the Warlock's got it now.
Oh yeah.
He's thinking
Double
about
golem. Maybe
Do you give it to
I
Leshrac?
think you give it to Leshrac because he has one queued up, and this is something that we don't see. I always want to see it. This new ability.
the nihilism.
Yep, you cannot attack. It might be great answer to attacks from the Dragon Knight, attacks from the Juggernaut.
And all that extra magic damage from Fatal Bonds, from the Fatal Bonds Pulse Nova combined together. And he's going to leave it in Fountain there for Faith Piana to grab.
So 30% more magic damage on top of Fatal Bonds, on top of extra 15 spell damage coming up from the Timeless Relic. Maybe this is it, Gary.
And this is what they needed. It has been a struggle in this mid to late game for LGD, but they've found openings. They've been given another opportunity here by Vici Gaming as it started to feel like it was a foregone conclusion. That net worth lead, you know, is pretty high for Vici, now down to about 16k. Now look at that, it was 25 at some point. Big swing back.
Now back to 16. They needed that big RP, and nothing to say delivered. Now with the Shadow Blade that you mentioned is going to be easier for them. Is there a gem? There isn't. They have 2 sentry wards, and that's it. Sorry, my apologies. All 11 holding a gem.
We do have that big difference though, as JJ is pointing out. Triple core buyback ready, and AA with Lion aren't too far away from theirs either. So we could have a fight here.
We might have 10 versus 5, exactly.
That's something LGD have to keep in their mind. Yes, they've got Aegis, they've got Cheese. So it's kind of a 10 versus 7 in some regards. But it's that jump, it's that initiation, and initiation comes from vision that matters so much. For both of these teams, I mean, Old Levin's arenas have been spot on. We've seen some good golems and Nyx initiations out of Y and Jin-Q.
Nihilism is online. On top of shard for Leshrac. It's super annoying. I've seen position for Leshrac, I believe it was Jin-Q, who built Octarine core, and then you can overlap the Split Earth.
Nothing to say. He's got Shadow Blade, man. I knew it was coming, but they still see him with the gem and BKBs and runs out of the arena.
Good reaction time there. No arena. 450.
No BKB for Magnus, though. Vici Gaming just going to grab the outpost. Cut out these waves, make sure that mid and bottom lane are pushing in towards Radiant side of the map. Top lane is where LGD have to aim for and angle towards that top set of barracks. Aegis for 2.5 minutes, starting to wear down on this time. But Phantom Lancer has to really have free reign in the battle. He's getting pretty stacked now, this Arme PL. Scardian backpack, 5k gold saved up.
will be have buyback in the next 15 seconds.
Do we see the Ags on PL? Something that I think we saw once from Anna in Europe, but we don't really see the Aghanim Scepter for Phantom Lance too much.
You gotta invest gold in something right now just to keep it a buyback. We'll need to farm another like 2.53k gold to have Aghanim Scepter, even more because you need a synth.
Yeah, maybe a Moonshot is better.
Buyback cost is 3,000 plus Aghanim's 6,000. You need 9,000 gold. Quick and easy math.
LGD. Got good positioning from PYW here. Old 11 also ready to break that smoke. Stay on top of the staircase, hold the ramp, blink away. They knew something was coming. Invis, nothing to say, and Faith Beyond walking forward as Vici Gaming hold that top jungle portion. LGD, bit of a mirror movement here going across to the ancient camps. Triangle belongs to them, and they know that mid lane is just this wave continually pushing up against the beaches of Vici Gaming's base. Phantom Lancer jumping the Lion. Ori finds the stun though in the arena there. The BKBs come out. Nothing to say off the RE, but he can't land it. They're trying to focus down Face Beyond now. Jin Q gets slapped down by Poyoyo. Drop the goal on the DK. Phantom Lancer in the back line, but Face Beyond in the front just dies. Poyoyo comes out with a double. Beyond godlike streak just never ending. PYW has an Eon disc. And Phantom Lancer always stuck here. Where's his team? He doesn't have one anymore. They're all ditched him. Oh no, Madness, no Warlord Olga and Army. Hexed up and dead.
He has buyback. They managed to reset the buyback. Unfortunately, Jin Q does not have one. Will be up in 80 seconds, so that's a lot of time that they need to buy. Once again, PYW jumps to the Lion, gets that first jump on the PL. It was 10 seconds until Aegis was about to expire, so could potentially just wait there and kill him instantly, but they still managed to do a great fight. RP, once again, available. They need nothing to say to make some miracle happen.
Yeah, he desperately needs to. This has got to be a Juggernaut plus DK plus 1 RP. They have to get rid of Poyoyo at some point. And Phantom Lancer buying back there. Again, we have a situation where Vici Gaming have 5 buybacks. And right now, LGD only holding 2. High ground pressure, Ice Blast flies over. Scouts out LGD inside their own base. A double catapult wave also here. Very patient though from Vici Gaming, not pressing forward. Worried about what awaits them on that Radiant high ground, which, like you say, is that nothing to say RP. They'll take Outpost instead.
Dragon Knight has Aghanim Scepter completed in his backpack. Now just bring the recipe. So there's going to be even more splash damage against the PL. And he's about to hit level 30. I would prefer if he went for that talent early on against the PL and the illusions. You stun everything. You cannot micro PL illusions that good because they're always going to be like, once they connect on the target, it's easy to just stun them.
They're all clumped up.
Yep, exactly. And the Aghanim Scepter done on top of 4,000 gold.
Assault Cuirass now for Old 11 as well. And level 30 Juggernaut, all of his talents grabbed up for him. Doppelganger CD there for Arme.
And also Lion getting closer to level 25. If he gets the AoE Hex, you kill all the illusions from PL, you stun them once, let's say with the Dragon Knight, you hex them, they all disappear, you know which one is real. PL, no buyback. I don't see them winning this game unless they land the 3+ man RP.
I mean, he's got Refresher Orb, right? So we do have that potential for some really sick plays out of this Magnus with his maneuverability, with a double RP. Potential is available for LGD, but it's a very tricky one to pull off. It's not easy by any means. We talk about that ease of execution quite often at the end of a draft, but it's progressed throughout this game to a point at which LGD are behind to a point they need to have the perfect team fight. Whereas Vici Gaming, so far, have been doing a great job splitting the fight. And
here's the opening.
Just casting their spell.
Oh no, they saw this.
They forced them out there, but the arena from Old 11. BKB's up. The Eon Disc, Jin Q. He also got the Minotaur Horn. Slips away from the arena. Faith Beyond Nihilism. Does come out for a second there, but why dies? Golem dropped on his death and nothing to say. Found by the Juggernaut. Omni Slash. Gone for over a minute and a half.
Next game, without Magnus, they don't have anything. fighting. And now Big Black Dragon coming in with the slows.
Phantom Lance are the only ones surviving. But now you have no RPs, and the story of this past 15 minutes has been nothing to say has to land huge RPs just to keep LGD in it.
I believe that's it, Gary. They just don't have enough. 70 seconds. Magnus lacks 800 gold.
Vici don't know that, though, do they?
They do not know yet.
Technically. And the
But it doesn't help them in any way.
Radiant structures are
Still going to close in on his high ground. Get on the tier 3. Some structural damage finally into the Radiant face. Nick Assassin, he is a nuisance, but there is
Another good job.
PYW all alive, and the Oxflash flying in. But a turnaround from the PL, and face PL's Leshrac stunning up the Mars. Vici Gaming has to back him up. Healing Ward keeps him topped up, and Poyoyo, they're split up. The stuns just keep landing on them. They've got the cheese. They've got the cheese. Gobble it up. Old 11 back in fighting shape again.
This is never-ending stun from Leshrac plus the Nyx Assassin. Look at this, huge range.
But they catch him again. The Carapace does stun out the Mars, but up there, and Poyoyo, he opens up with Ori. Jinq will fall. Down goes your Nyx, and your base defense no longer valid. PSG.LGD will lose their Leshrac here potentially, and are get forced out back by one.
Man, constantly being annoying with his spam from so far away. He's really afraid to go in.
Yeah, he can't go in and face tanky
But they bought
heroes.
time. They bought time. Magnus is, again,
It's just-
available to RPs. Remember that he has enough mana pool, 300 for RP, 300 for a refresh. So 900 in total needed, maybe a Shadow Blade here and there. Empower, but his mana over time is 17 per second, so you need to count that in on top of it.
And a Horn Toss there as well. Well, it's just one lane of barracks. That's evened the playing field a little here for Vici Gaming, but that felt like it should have been game over.
It took them a while. A lot of those stuns, Nyx Assassin
scanning for enemies.
landing the 2 hero stuns plus burning the mana. And we go to 60 minutes. Ex Machina, found by Leshrac.
What was that? 25 armor and resetting the cooldown of all items. Looks like he'll be the one to hold it. So we've got multiple BKBs there for him. Ballista for DY. Do you want that on Dragon Knight?
You might give that to Dragon Knight, yeah.
Oh, and a
Yep,
pushing,
to bounce them off.
a pushing item. Look at the dead. We've got the Necronomicon units back
It's
again.
back,
Of course,
back,
it's been a
baby.
while.
Ex Machina as well for them. So what can they refresh on their side? They can potentially refresh the Eon Discs, the BKBs, Overwhelming Blink, Yule Scepter on Mars.
Yeah, it feels like Old 11 there with his items and the fact that he wants to be the one tanking up. Ideal candidate for it. As DK grabs an Overwhelming Blink for himself. Nice little pirate hat there. Free bounty runes. Tons of attack speed, so you're going to have these Maelstrom or
Fallen
Mjolnir
Sky.
attacks. Coming out quickly.
All in Sky on Mag, that's a big one.
Does he keep it? Use that as an initiation tool?
I would.
like no.
I definitely would. Right now, he's just holding the leveler. Damage is a bit lacking coming out from him. You know, he has 400, but with all the armor, and they're gonna go in.
It's so rough, but there's the jump, Old 11. Yes, the catch and the combo. As good as ever. Eyes blasting the Warlock. We'll have to buy back to hold on to this one because their base is in tatters. RP from nothing to say. Skewers them back towards the fountain. Golem in, the RP skewer. They're in the fountain. Nothing to say. He throws everything at them. Age is reclaimed as Ori. He just flap his wings and back it away. Beating up and turns the fight. The stun's there. The Poyo's out. DK down, but the Juggernaut still keeps going. Fallen Sky and a skewer back in. Nothing to say is toying with Vici Gaming. But LGD can't finish off the Jug, and he is the main hero here for them.
Can he get another one? Back to the fountain. Buyback from PYW, buyback from Ori. They want to end this game. They're going in.
Faith Beyond refreshes up. Moves forward, Lightning Storm slows, looks for the stun, but the Yule Scepter, Stormcrafter. Cyclones DY out of danger. 2 lanes now looking pretty done. Vici Gaming claims some buildings.
There's the Fallen Sky plus the core.
They catch him out, the Yule's out. Mars still stuck in the fountain. He's dead on the fountain damage. He's gone for 100.
Whoa. Gary, they still holding this game. Dragonite with the double damage.
Another Fallen Sky misses out on the skewer this time. Faith Beyond trying to hold back on Poyoyo. The throne is open. Juggernaut can't get the job done though. And Dragonite with his DD BKB rune, needs his drag form to come back off cooldown, but he's out of mana at this point.
AoE Hex online, level 25. He gets rid of those illusions so quickly, but the Nyx Assassin being very annoying. Nothing to over the board.
Oh, nothing to say. He skewers away. Faith Beyond again. Comes out with his BKB. Beautiful Ex Machina just spamming out all his items. Stunning at the Juggernaut. Fly back out from Army. Phantom Lance coming in, but the skewer not working. None can't deal with the BKB of Orange. And now the Dragon Knight pummels wide. Another hero down and buyback. It's Apparition will have to spend his 4v4 now. And an Omni slash finger takes down Arme's buyback. Dieback on him, but a skewer again into Fountain. Nothing to say, sets up on the DK.
This is 6 versus 5, Gary. They're using the Fountain as their 6th player.
Got the cliff on their base as well. Throne is still standing. PYW Poyoyo are afraid.
Another RP is available. He might be able to get a jump. Only 2 heroes with the buyback right now. Oh, he's setting it up.
The cold feet, nothing to say. Make sure he couldn't jump, couldn't skewer, couldn't RP.
You can't get close. Nyx Assassin just borrowed, and we see this Leshrac with the shard, multiple stuns. Man, nothing to say. This is why he has such a high win rate. Even when things go dark real quick, you know, he's there. He's still holding the game for them with those skewers, with those RPs.
Money
All they need is that one stun. Nyx stun, RP, whatever it might be, and skewer them back towards the Fountain. Again, looking at these buybacks, Mag and Jug, the only two with them. Radiant base. It's out in the open here. It's cold, it's exposed, and it comes on 11. Spear catch for the RP. All the BKBs were fast enough. Vici gets
has another one.
They phase it around. Nothing to say. Doesn't land it. Vici Gaming cracks the game wide open. Deep is called. They know it's over.
Oh my god, maybe they had it. You know, if he lands that RP, a lot of nerves with it. Uses RP on the ground. But yeah, Vici Gaming in the end prevails.